では再開します。
Are you kidding? He was about 2 steps from the grave in his condition.
I want to be sure, though. It doesn't bother you, right? Him sleeping in your bed, I mean.
He is sleeping alone. Were he to have tried to join me, my opinion may have been different, but as it stands, I have no qualms.
You're handling it better than I would.
That's just because you've always had a weakness for boys.
No, I mean everything. I wasn't just talking about the bed. And I don't have a weakness for boys. You just have a complete lack of regard for them. You know, we've been here for, goddess, how many years has it been? 15? And you have yet to...
Please, Prude, there is more to life than relationships.
I know, but...
Prude. Look, I had supposed that such things would wait until I was paired and we were truly beginning our lives.
Ah, so what you're saying is that you want something more romantic. Something with more substance than the fling at school.
And you don't?
I'm not sure what I want anymore.
You can't possibly mean...
I have the solution. She is paired with a plant, because clearly if her research is correct, I have lost my train of thought.
More like you woke up from your dream.
That may have been it.
I'm actually curious as to your thought process there.
Well, if Veronica is right, and one can animate a plant in the same way one might a corpse, then the same potential for magic energy may exist in a plant.
So, a plant performed the ritual.
It made sense while I was sleeping.
How do you know so much about my research? I don't share my notes.
I figured out the basics by following your reading patterns in the library.
What would prompt you to do that?
Idle curiosity, mostly, and I don't actually have all that much to do outside of classes. My failure to be paired killed my social life, and my own studies can only maintain my interest for so long. Other students' research occasionally provided a welcome distraction.
Not sure if I should be mortified or impressed.
I am allowing for an uncomfortable mixture of both.
That would be reasonable.
Oh, goddess, do you actually think you're creepy? I had thought that was some joke on Ash's part.
I know what time every student wakes up normally. I would argue that is definitively creepy.
Light and shadows, you're weird.
Weirdest in the school. Also, the best. I think that once me and Prude get the hang of this pairing thing, I could outmatch the heads. Oh, there's an idea. Prude, have you ever considered becoming heads?
I have a kingdom to worry about first.
Ah, very well. I would prefer to avoid staying here anyway. 16 years was enough for me.
I'm sure you'll find plenty of ways to show off in the King's Court.
Oh yes, I suppose I should talk to Zachariah and Luciana about that.
They let you call them by their first name?
No, I call them by their first name and they must accept it. They may not acknowledge me as their better, but they will at least provide me the courtesy of eschewing honorifics.
Ah,
You're being kind of intense there, Heck.
My apologies.
do you consider us your lessers then?
No. I am clearly better than you in some areas, but you have an area of expertise entirely removed from my own. The same goes for Prudence, of course.
But you just said you consider yourself better than Zachariah. I can understand possibly considering yourself better than Luciana. She's a necromancer too. Zachariah is a paladin. You have none of her abilities.
I need not possess the abilities of a paladin to recognize she lacks skill. Her abilities are not deprived of finesse, talent, or even power. She merely abuses the ability of a paladin to instill strength in excess, and then uses her years of experience as a fighter. She is deadly in combat, but she is no great mage. Luciana's craft with golems is exemplary. Truly she is gifted, but I am better.
You're rather arrogant.
Also creepy. But I am still the best.
Ugh, let's not fight, please. I would really like my best friend and my partner to be friends.
I apologize, Prudence. I will try my best. I have found no fault in anything Veronica has said. Of course, my best with social interactions is a tad worse than my magical abilities.
Aw, you're adorable, like a deranged kitten.
Thank you.
I am not entirely sure that was a compliment.
First, we should conduct a little research. I would like to establish a range on a pairing ritual. Would you two mind helping me kidnap a few students?
Oh, do you really have to call it a kidnapping?
I don't understand why I am required to accompany you on this.
Mostly because you were rather clear in your desire to experiment on other students.
I am not a student anymore, I'm a graduate. The other in that sentence is incorrect.
That is what concerns you?
Do not trouble yourself, Zachariah. As long as Mr. Warlock is with us, there is no risk of him misbehaving.
I'm not misbehaving. This would hardly be the first time I've conducted such experiments.
Yes, we know. Those experiments were never sanctioned either.
Not to mention that Mr. Warlock would require quite the number of mages to replicate a pairing ritual. Even if you had some of the most powerful mages to have ever attended, you would not have the power to simulate the yearly pairing ritual. There is a reason that we only perform it on an annual basis. We lack unpaired students who might have wished to participate. And we can't simply offer you students ill-prepared to graduate.
Nonsense! I cannot believe the spell is so limited. The requirement is the input of raw power, not number. A pair of mages trained in the task could likely...
I don't care what you think, Mr. Warlock. You do not have permission to conduct your experiments, so for now you will stay by our side.
I must agree with my wife on this.
So, what are we hoping to find?
I believe these two are of a mind that there's a paladin who has been training in secret in a nearby village.
That is more or less accurate.
I have another question for you, Heck.
What is it?
Why aren't you riding a horse?
Oh, Heck hates horses.
As long as he can keep up, Hector is welcome to do whatever he pleases.
You want to be a soldier, boy? You best learn to ride. An army cannot be expected to wait on your fancies.
What is his deal with horses?
Oh, I don't know. He just mentioned it to me while the handlers were preparing Arcturus.
That boy has been afraid of horses since the day he arrived.
Horses like him about as much. There's something to be said of a man who cannot earn the trust of a horse.
一旦切りたいと思います。